Your local news and weather from where you live. Newswatch 12 Midday starts now.
Well, the second annual World Championship UTV-ATV Derby made its way back to the Northwoods this weekend. Thousands of participants and spectators gathered. Not even some heavy rain could have stopped them from coming out.
The track was suited for boat racing and not anything else.
ATV and UTV riders had more than just a few bumps on the track to get over.
It was underwater.
Saturday's heavy rains forced schedule changes, but for race organizer Steve Decker, the rain was simply another obstacle.
We actually pumped 600,000 gallons of water out of the north end of the track last night.
Saturday's weather was less than ideal, but for Eagle River's Austin Pitlick, Sunday's weather was exactly what he hoped for.
Now that the sun's out, it's almost perfect race temperature actually, and looks like we're getting a good crowd on the hill over there, and the racers are definitely liking it a lot more.
Some racers traveled from as far as Wyoming and others as close as the Northwoods. UTV driver Robert Luar said the weekend was unlike anything he had ever experienced. And thanks to the washing areas located around the track, getting his equipment muddy wasn't all that bad.
The racers can come off the track and clean their equipment off right away and get ready for the next race.
The stations made it easier for riders to handle the caked-on mud, and compared to last year, racers definitely made a bigger splash.
Last year was dust. They didn't really need it. This year, as you can see, they get pretty muddy. So even with all the track prep we did, it's still dirty, and so they're pretty happy to have a wash station.
We're covering the news in Eagle River. Herrera, Newswatch 12.
Well, after a cool and rainy weekend, we're in for a good amount of sunshine and warmer temperatures, at least for the next couple of days. A live look outside our sky cam right now shows plenty of sunshine here in Rhinelander. Temperatures improving nicely compared to the 40s we experienced earlier this morning. We're now in the upper 60s to right around 70. We'll make our way into the middle range of the 70s as we head into the afternoon hours. Winds a little bit breezy now out of the southwest, helping bring in those warmer temperatures, and we'll have winds between 10 and 15 miles an hour as we head through the rest of our afternoon. A few showers across Lake Superior will stay well off to our north today, so we can expect plenty of sunshine as we head through the rest of our Monday, with high temperatures warming into the middle range of the 70s, maybe a few more clouds as we head towards the evening hours. But again, we will stay dry. A nice day for your Tuesday, and then rain arrives by Wednesday. I'll have the details coming up in my full forecast in just a few minutes. Ellie?
Thanks, Chad. Well, after an extensive land and water search, rescue teams have found the body of a man who went missing after swimming in an Adams County lake early Saturday morning. According to Rome Police Department, the DNR found the body of 25-year-old Paul Anderson in Lake Camelot shortly after 2 Sunday afternoon. Rome Police Chief Jason Lobby told Newswatch 12 crews had found the body in about 10 feet of water. Lobby also said Anderson is from southern Wisconsin. The DNR found the body using underwater remote sonar and camera equipment. Investigators still need to determine the cause of death. Police had gotten the call around 1 Saturday morning that Anderson had jumped off a dock into Lake Camelot and tried to swim out to a boat in the lake. But Anderson never got to the boat. And Wisconsin's Attorney General will give an update on the state's investigation of a deadly shooting by police in Milwaukee. Brad Schmiel was to be joined at a briefing by the Director of Special Investigations Bureau. The state is looking into the fatal shooting last weekend of 23-year-old Sylville Smith. The death of Smith, who was black, sparked 2 nights of unrest on Milwaukee's largely black side. Police say Smith was running from a traffic stop. They say the officer's body camera shows Smith was holding a gun and he turned toward an officer when he was shot. The ACLU and others have pressed the state to release the video as soon as possible. And a toddler died over the weekend after being hurt in a fire in northwest Wisconsin last week. 2-year-old Anthony Harp was injured in an apartment fire in the Chippewa County Lake community of Lake Holcombe. The Chippewa County Sheriff's Department says the boy died at a hospital in Minnesota Saturday night. His parents and their 3-year-old son were able to escape the fire last Thursday. The boy's father, Sean Harp, used a garden hose to try and control the fire until firefighters arrived and pulled the 2-year-old out. First responders worked for over 30 minutes to revive Anthony, who now has died. And police arrested the man in Marinette County deputies were seeking after leading them on a car chase and a foot chase Friday evening. Oconto County deputies found and arrested the suspect on Saturday night. According to the Marinette County Sheriff's Office, the suspect is 31-year-old Eric L. Petrie of Phillips. Police took him to the Marinette County Jail where he awaits charges, which will include felony counts of fleeing an officer and operating a car without the owner's consent. Petrie was already wanted for patrol violations, and other felony warrants, including operating a car without the owner's consent. And Wisconsin's regulators get a warning, and the state's high electric rates could cause some big manufacturers to move or extend elsewhere. A report approved by the Wisconsin Public Service Commission last month says the state's average electric rates are highest among 8 Midwest states for the first time since 2006. Comments submitted in response to that report said the rates make it hard for industries to remain competitive. That's led to calls to find ways to create price competition, like allowing consumers to choose their power provider instead of being restricted to one option. And Donald Trump's hard line on immigration seems to be getting a little bit blurry. Trump's new campaign manager says the plan to get rid of 11 million people is now to be determined. CNN's Sufar T has more.
Donald Trump's campaign signaling a possible softening of his controversial position on the forced deportation of 11 million undocumented immigrants.
They will go out. They will come back. Some will come back, the best, through a process. They have to come back legally.
Trump's hardline stance, a signature issue of his campaign since the beginning. Now his new campaign manager indicating that policy is not set in stone.
Let me play something from what Mr. Trump has said previously. Listen to what he said back in November.
You're going to have a deportation force, and you're going to do it humanely and
expensively. Are they going to be ripped out of their homes?
Can I tell you? They're going back where they came. If they came from a certain country, they're going to be brought back to that country. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Will that plan include a deportation force, the kind that you just heard in that soundbite and that he talked about during the Republican primaries?
To be determined.
Key Trump surrogate Senator Jeff Sessions confirming that Trump is wrestling with the issue after a meeting with Hispanic advisors on Saturday, ahead of a big policy speech later this week.
He listened to a lot of people. I don't think he made any commitments. He's thinking that through. I think that's the right thing.
This potential shift coming as Trump attempts to broaden his appeal among African American voters.
I've asked the African American community to honor me with their vote. You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose?
Polls show his campaign way behind with this key voting bloc, following a string of controversial comments about minorities.
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. Look at my African American over here. This judge is of Mexican heritage. I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall.
Trump's now more muted, scripted style reserved for policy, not for his opponent, Hillary Clinton.
She will never be able to fix the ISIS problem that her policies created. For one thing, she doesn't have the strength or the stamina.
All this as Trump and his surrogates continue to raise unsubstantiated questions about Hillary Clinton's health.
Go online and put down Hillary Clinton illness. Take a look at the videos for yourself.
Well, thousands of people pushed out of their homes in Louisiana now can return home. Coming up on Newswatch 12 Midday, we'll show you what they're finding as floodwaters go down.
And plenty of sunshine expected Monday and